Hello everybody, thank you for tuning in to another Starcraft 2 broadcast. My name is Ahnaris, and today we're here to watch a 1 versus 1 on the map Zelnaga Caverns between ChiTaPrime, spawning as the red Protoss in the top right. His opponent is going to be the blue Zerg, ZiZon. You know, his name looks really menacing when you get through the Z's of the alternating caps and whatnot, and then it kind of trails off with that on. It's a little disappointing, so I'm hoping he's going to make up with that with some epic Zerg play here today. This is a game from the Asian server, and I know I have actually cast a lot of ChiTaPrime replays lately, but come on, you gotta admit, they've been pretty interesting. We've had the Hallucinated Colossus, we've had the pretty darn epic game between, let's see, it was him and Liquid Hapro, I think. See, that was, I don't know. But, you know, we've also had the Mothership Photon Cannon drop in main base play that was the other day. So, you know, all in all, I find that ChiTaPrime is one of the more creative StarCraft 2 players. I know I've said this like a million times before, but he has a blog that he does a lot of sort of experimental and creative play on, and that's kind of what attracts me to his play style here. And so I'm looking forward to another great game. Maybe we'll have a little bit more of a traditional setup today. You do see the probe did just scout out the Zerg base and is going to check the expansion now, just to make sure there's no drones heading over that way. That may have snuck out. Uh-oh, looks like he did see that one. So, not sure if he was actually looking at it at the time, but he has rallied to go back out there. ChiTaPrime has dropped his pylon, rather, at the natural expansion. He's probably going to be going for a Nexus right off the bat. Sure enough, there you go. I mean, you just look at the money and you can tell that right away. He hadn't built anything yet in the game, so I'm not too surprised that we see that going on right now. Do know that there is an Overlord coming over here, going to be heading around the backside of the natural, so good scouting on the Zerg's part. ChiTaPrime not going to be doing any harassment to this hatchery. It looks like just keeping this drone entertained. Now, he might be holding this extra one around, maybe to drop a spine crawler or two, should he feel that this base is going to come under attack. Now notice he also has this one drone right here, going to be going back and forth to make sure that he's not going to get walled in. Of course, it does take a little bit more in the way of production, or structures rather, to block off the ramp now that we're in patch 1.2, but it still can be done. Just a little bit more of an investment there. ChiTaPrime has thrown down a forge here at the top. Now what we're seeing here is a very common strategy for building placement. Got the gateway kind of blocking off the photon cannon there in the back, so if anything wants to attack this photon cannon, it is going to have to run around here. And what we see a lot of times is we'll see the Protoss continue a wall of structures right along here, and they might decide to throw down a cannon or two in the mineral line just to guard, make sure there's not going to be any Zerglings that decide to run past the net or run past the defenses, try to get behind and go straight on up. One Zergling has come into the mineral line where it will be killed by the probes. Oh man, so close, almost died there. But probes are safe for right now, as Cheetah is continuing to focus on infrastructure and economy. Really, at this point in the game, that's a good thing to be doing, because the Zerg is doing the exact same thing. ChiTaPrime knows that. You know, the expansion going down, you know, when it did, and don't have any Zergling speed on the way just yet, just watching that gas there, seeing what's going to be coming for Zerg. But he knows that he is safe to do this. The map really kind of helps out with that, because it's a really long distance between the two players, and both players are very skilled here, at least ChiTaPrime is. I've never actually seen ZiZon, whoever he is, play, so I guess this is going to be our first impression for him, but I'm assuming that he's playing against ChiTaPrime. Can't be that bad. Cybernetics core going down around the 5-minute mark, so obviously Warp Gate technology is going to be delayed a good bit. May decide to chrono boost to that a couple times, I don't know. It's all going to depend on his strategy here, which right now just involves D'ing up his natural and solidifying this additional income. For the Zerg player, he does have the Zergling speed upgrade now, on the way to around 20%. And also claiming this extra expansion. Now, it's going to be kind of, it's a little bit of a risky move here. It's going to come down to whether or not the Protoss scouts this and decides to put on any early pressure, which I don't think that ChiTaPrime really has the capability to do right now. You see, he does have the one gateway, couple cannons, and then a cybernetics core. That's it. That's all he can do right now. So, really, he's going to have to look at getting some additional production structures in order to really put some pressure on. Now, he is getting a Stargate, so he may decide to do a bit of Phoenix harassment. That would not be too uncommon there. Also, some Void Ray harassment. You know, with a lot of times with Zerg versus Protoss, you'll see them go for a Roach Hydra build kind of mid-game and then transition into countering whatever the Protoss opponent is doing. Whether it be Colossus, going heavier on the Void Rays, you know, there's a bunch of different things they could do. So, in their early mid-game, you'll generally see them kind of going for the Roaches, as they do provide a cheap, sturdy defensive unit right off the bat. The thing is, the creep is being spread here. It's not quite expanded out here, though. Let's actually take a look at Zerg and see what all he has actually seen. He does know that the Stargate is here producing a Void Ray, and he is soon to learn there are 3 additional gateways being built right here, and this kind of hidden alcove. This is a very common place for Protoss to put tech structures when they are going with an early expansion build, just because it's pretty easy to defend right here. You see it's nice and tucked away, and it also keeps units from running by behind the mineral line and bypassing the defenses. So there's the Overlord being sacrificed by the Zerg player. Just going to continue to scout out the Protoss, see what's going on, try to get as much information as possible. I don't think this is going to affect him too much. You see there are 2 Overlords on the way right now, so he is going to build that one to try to get caught back up, replace this one, and you'll see that now he's going to be, yeah, I'd say a little bit ahead, probably. Yeah, sure enough. All right, so here comes the Void Ray coming down here for the Protoss player. We'll keep an eye and see where that's going. Now the Zerg is destroying the destructible rocks. That's a really good idea. It's going to cut down the run distance in order to defend this expansion a lot easier. Now notice that there is a Spore Crawler going down here. Void Ray is coming. Oh man, there's only one Queen right here. ChiTaPrime making a good move, trying to cut away from the Void Ray, as he does see the Spore Colony is now complete. Not Spore Colony, Spore Crawler. God, I've been playing too much StarCraft 1. ChiTaPrime, realizing that expansion is good to go, he's going to try to catch up on bases here by taking the high yield. Now, if he's able to secure this and keep the Zerg from doing the same, maybe put a little bit of economic harassment on this one, he'll be able to make some really solid pushes and continue teching up. He is getting the Weapons 1 upgrade as we speak, also dropping down that pylon that's going to be able to give him some frontline reinforcements should he have to defend this expansion in the next few minutes. ZiZon moving out with some Zerglings here, probably just going to try to get a little bit of map control. Oh, probe! Wrong place, buddy! Spoiler alert, there's no minerals right there. He's probably just keeping an eye on the backside. That's actually a pretty good spot. Drop a probe right here. You can keep an eye on the ramp, keep an eye right there. You'll know if anything's running around. Good stuff by ChiTaPrime. Continuing to build up his tech right here, getting a robotics bay. You notice he does have a robotics facility here throwing down an Immortal. Immortals do a crap ton of damage to Roaches, but you gotta make sure you don't accidentally send it in too early. Or not, rather ahead of the rest of your army, because they can be picked off pretty easily. Zergling's just trying to do a little bit more recon, realizing he's not going to be able to do a whole lot. Uh-oh, he could to do some damage to this Immortal here. Oh man, is it going to go down? Protoss reinforcing, will it go down? I don't think it will. No, it's going to be okay. One Zergling, oh, he thought he could, but he failed. Zerg over here with another hatchery down here at the natural expansion, looking to produce a bunch more units here now that his economy is really taken off. Speaking of economy, look at the income right now, folks. We do have 2,000 minerals per minute for the Zerg player, 70 harvesters compared to ChiTaPrime, 1,664 harvesters. You'll see that Zerg does have a lot more gas coming in. He is running off of 6 geysers currently, as he is also has a very nice Roach force. A couple Hydras as well. You can see he's going to start to work on some anti-air capabilities here. Probably not too much here at this point in the game. You see there's no Colossus right now in the field. There's one it's almost here. Also do have ground armor level 1 and the extended thermal lance upgrades on the way. So right now, Zerg has some great production capabilities. You see he's got 4 hatcheries total. So if he wants, he can make a very solid push here at the gold expansion, which it looks like is going to be the case. There are a good number of sentries here, so we can expect a lot of force fields. One Colossus has now entered the battle and is dealing plenty of damage to the Roaches. Oh man, so many force fields. Look at those Roaches just dancing around. They can't do anything but sit there and take it. More Stalkers are warping in, going to try to defend the southern portion of the line here. Got to watch this Colossus, make sure it doesn't get out too far ahead of the army. Otherwise, good play. Oh no, what are you doing? Zerg taking advantage of this opportunity, taking down the Colossus before ChiTaPrime was able to bring it back. Oh man, Cheetah really needed that Colossus going into this game here. Oh man, as we do pass the 13-minute mark here, almost into 14, he does have another Colossus, maybe? Thought I saw one there. Yeah, okay, there it is, right there. I was about to say, it would be really nice if he had 2 Colossi for the next engagement here, because it looks like it may be coming, but he's only going to have 1, and no more force fields, so this is going to be kind of tough to defend here. Protoss is going to expect to suffer a lot more in the way of losses. He doesn't have blink tech. All he's going to do right now is make sure this Colossus does not die, and he can hope for the best. Alright, so Zerg is going to retreat here. Good idea on that. Having that Colossus there, even with the... you know, he did get that range upgrade, so it's survivability, man. That's what it's all about with these things. You've just got to make sure you do not send them in like what happened a minute ago with Cheetah's first Colossus. That was just a really poor thing to happen right there. I think that second battle would have suffered a lot fewer casualties for the Protoss player if he had that second Colossus. Maybe a couple sentries, drop him a few more force fields down there. But we do have a couple High Templars here. So Psystorm is on the way, also Blink technology. But look at Zerg is countering with countering the Colossi with some Corruptors here. Protoss doesn't really have any surefire way to take them down, or at least protect from any Corruptor sniping. Does have Blink technology on the way though. You know, really, with now that ChiTaPrime does have these Zealots here, I think the next engagement will be a little bit better for ChiTaPrime, just because he was having to use those Stalkers as frontline defense units, as kind of the wall against the Colossi. Because without those Zealots here, you know, that's really, you gotta have something in between the Colossi and the Zerg opponent, or else they're just gonna go in and snipe the Colossi, which it may have an engagement here. No, looks like they're just gonna kind of teeter off. ZiZon taking the expansion over here at the 9 o'clock position. Going to be kind of a risky move. It is pretty close to the Protoss base, but there is a probe hanging out over here at the 3 o'clock. Bunch of Zerglings are going to be running in here into the 3rd base or the 4th, yeah, 4th base. Can't count apparently. For ChiTaPrime, as Cheetah does move in to the high yield expansion. Several High Templars are in place. Oh man, they're running out to the front. Psystorms are going down all over the Roaches. Good back out there by the Zerg, however, as the Stalkers are very distracted by the Corruptors. Look at that, Roaches coming in here, even with the choke point. They're able to get a good concave surround. Almost there for a second. Now they're moving in and just trying to go for the Colossi and getting as close as possible to make sure all of the units can fire. But now Blink technology has been used, keeping up with the Roaches there, trying to take out the Corruptors. This Colossus doing as much damage as it can. Oh man, High Templar running to the front lines. Not a good place to be for you, buddy. You could go down very quickly, so low in the health. ChiTaPrime losing those Stalkers very slowly. He's doing everything he can to hold this ground. He wants to take out this high yield expansion. That's going to be critical going into the late game here, to make sure he can deny this income for the Zerg player, who right now is just pumping out mass Roach. Pretty much the best idea at this point in the game. Protoss kind of pulling off here. Good idea. As you see, he's actually transferring a ton of probes over to this expansion. Now note that ZiZon will see that. So let's see, he's actually transferring a few probes off of the natural to come over here to the high yield. So basically, he realizes this base is starting to get mined out. He wants to transfer the bulk of his drones over here to this expansion, which is still fresh, and he's keeping a good amount of drones here, or workers, probes. Hey, I play Starcraft too. I know what units are. All right, 3 Corruptors, kind of hang out there. Now notice ChiTaPrime doesn't have any more Colossi. And the Zealots do not have charge, as Cheetah is painfully aware of that right now. Losing a couple Zealots there. Just some nice cutting. Uh-oh. Got some Psystorm time here. Blinking away, trying to get those Corruptors, but it looks like it's actually going to put his army in a kind of a weird spot. Some Psystorms are going down, kind of forcing the Roaches down into this expansion, away from the rest of the Templar, where he will actually make a beeline for the Nexus. This is really going to hurt ChiTaPrime. He does not have these rocks destroyed, so these Roaches are going to be cornered. There's one Psystorm going down, second one as well, getting a nice bunch of those. Look at those Roaches taking so much damage as the High Templar are charging in headfirst, ahead of the Stalkers. Zealots are here to mop up, but Protoss really suffered some heavy losses in this fight. Taking a look at the army size right now, you can see it's 152 to 162. ZiZon still working on the heavy roach build right here, which so far is working out very well for him. You look at the units lost tab right now, you can see he's done a pretty good job keeping up in terms of resources. He has lost the greater of the two, but you see he is still holding on to his own in the economy. He's got the superior mineral income, superior gas as well here, and there's another Psystorm landing on the Hydras, as you see are now making up a bigger chunk of the army for Zerg. Only have 2 Templar here, one of them which can Psystorm. Yeah, there we go. There's another Psystorm forcing the Zerg to retreat. Again, ChiTaPrime just not able to come in here and do the damage that needs to be done to this high yield expansion, and is forced once again to retreat back to his high yield, where he's bringing in more reinforcements. Psystorm landing on the roaches, that's taken out a good number of them right there. So that high Templar's got 3 kills, and screw it, not going to try to click that, moving around too much. But note that the expansion is finally complete for ChiTaPrime. So his income is going to be back up to standards a little bit here, going back up to around 1,300. Can expect to see that going up in a minute or two, because he's got a lot of probes just transferring all around the map. He's long distance mining from these probes, which should actually adjust in just a moment. And also, once these probes come up here, it will be a lot better for ChiTaPrime. Throwing out a couple cannons as well. A good idea for static defense there. So here comes the Roach Hydra armor, getting ready to make another move possibly at this expansion, with some probes doing almost a little long-distance gassing there. That can't be smelling good at all. Oh man, this expansion is going to be going down again. Nothing that Protoss can do about it at this point. Just Zerg got in there too quick, and looking at the army size now, you see that ChiTaPrime is not in a good position. 141 to 200, and you look at the upgrades right now. Oh, nice Roach, easy kills right there. Look at the upgrades: 1 armor, 1 weapons for the Protoss. For the Zerg player, 2 weapons, 1 armor. And that does apply to all of his ranged units, which right now make up the bulk of his army. Still 200 to 200. Protoss trying to get the top of the ramp here. Well, he will lay down some beautiful Psystorms, forcing the Zerg to once again retreat, giving the Protoss a couple seconds head start here. Let's see what Zerg's going to be doing. He might decide to make another run at the high yield, which is mostly mined out. Yep, sure enough, going to be knocking out those pylons right quick. Not taking down Cheetah under supply block, though. Not that that's a big deal at this point. Do note there is a Dark Shrine on the way while this engagement is taking place, as ChiTaPrime looks to pick off a few units from the side of the concave here. Roaches are coming in from the flank. Now let's see if Zerg decides to come in here and do the sandwich attack. Oh man, while the Zealots are distracted away over here, Templars are running face first into the Hydras. Some beautiful Psystorms landing all over the Roaches and Hydras. Whew. That's quite an attack there, ladies and gentlemen. Zerg took out the high yield expansion right here. Protoss suffered some very heavy losses. Also a Ultralisk Cavern on the way. Do have a Dark Templar warping in right here. ChiTaPrime looking to take this game back, maybe coming over here, sniping out the economy, taking out a few units. Uh-oh, Zerg did see that, though. He had his units selected right at the same time. And if you're paying attention, oh, Observer denied. Overseer, rather. I'll get those right one of these days. Got some more Psystorms. Oh, man, if this is not asking for a Psystorm. Oh, nice, right in there. Took those units to half health. Zerg, once again, man, he's just taking out those Roaches, getting plenty of them. Protoss trying to do some storms, but, you know, with Roaches, Psystorm's good, but it does take a good number of them. Oh, man, nice Psystorm kiting. Look at that, the Protoss is actually kiting the Zerg around, forcing him to run into the Psystorms while he gives pursuit. Zerg is going to come out on top in this particular fight, but more storms are going down, taking out the Roaches. One Archon being morphed here. I don't think that's going to really work out super well. Yeah, sure enough, there it goes. Archon did take out a Roach before he was killed. Another Psystorm landing right on top of the Hydras. See, ChiTaPrime, he's really giving it all he's got right now, man, which unfortunately is kind of limited by his mineral income. He's got a couple High Templar here. We look at the unit count right now. We can see, you know, 2 High Templar, 2 Dark Templar, 1 Stalker, 4 High Templar. You see this two DTs are coming in right out of the mineral line, taking out a few drones. Don't think this attack is going to go very well, though. This Overseer has a few things to say about that. He's actually pulling out there right before the Overseer was completed. Good idea. Got to save any units he can at this point. You look at the army size now, 139 to 83. The map is starting to get mined out a little bit, but there's some income here that can be had if you really fight for it. ChiTaPrime realizes the position he's in right now. He's just trying his best to hold on to this expansion, not spending any money on probes, just using what he has right now, which frankly is enough to continue building the High Templars. Another Psystorm landing right in the middle of the Zerg army, taking most of these units down to about half health or less, and the Psystorm's going to finish a lot of those roaches off right there. Look at that, so many roaches there at just 1 bar of hit points. Cheetah bringing in an Archon, another Psystorm landing, taking out a lot more of those roaches. He might hold on to this expansion for another minute or two, now that this Archon is here. He should have the muscle to hold off that attack. More roaches are on the way. Feedback on the Overseer. Yeah, take that, buddy. Not allowed to be in here. Roaches are actually making a beeline for the cannon and the Archon. There it goes. Shields down for the Archon, and it is dropped. So at this point, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to have to say I don't think that ChiTaPrime can really I don't think he's going to be able to come back from this. You look right there, there goes the DTs. It's kind of Cheetah's last-ditch effort to take out the expansion. And ChiTaPrime's income right now sitting at about 80. Mainly because he had to use the probes to take out that one last roach. You see that one's running away. Overseer once again just kind of come in here, hang out, and a Psystorm landing on the roaches, but you know, it moved out plenty of time, only just took minimal damage there, and now the probes are forced to retreat away from the expansion, leaving the Nexus vulnerable. The High Templar is dead, the Zealots are dead, and I really don't think, you know, I'm going to have to say I think this is going to be GG for ChiTaPrime right here. I mean, we did see the decline from a good few minutes ago, but really, I don't think there's anything that he could do. No surprise attacks, no last-minute DTs or anything like that. Very well played by both players, though, I have to say. But the Roach Hydra play came out on top. The Zerg had the superior economy. He had the great macro and just continued pressing off Cult Cheetah's Colossus there early on. And I really think if he had that one Colossus there right at the start, that second engagement would have gone a little bit better and things would have looked a little bit closer for ChiTaPrime. So it looks like there's the GG from ZiZon, I guess, as they're chatting it up a little bit here. So that's going to be pretty much this game here on Xel'Naga Caverns. We see there's even the Zerg player long distance mining from Cheetah's old base, kind of evicting them there. So that's going to be it. I can't think of anything else awesome to talk about here. Hope you guys did enjoy the game, and I'll try to get some more epic games up here in the next day or so. I do have another hour-long game. My God, these things just keep falling into my lap. It's a Terran versus Terran, and I'm going to ask you guys again, do you think I should cast it? Leave a comment below. Let me know if I should put into the time to do this. Like I said, it's a Terran versus Terran. Just let me know if you want to see something like that. I'll even tell you the map. It's on Shakuras Plateau. Alright, so it's a pretty good game, but let me know what you think. Alright, I'm out. Adios.